Welcome to the Comic Convo Express between the panels. I am your host, the one, the only. You guys know me. You guys can follow me over on twitch.tv/PevGamer or youtube.com/PevGamer. Um, we are here to talk all things nerd culture today, what's been going on in the news. I am joined by two of the best experts in comics in our area. On my left, you guys can follow him on this pod, actually. Twitch.tv/Comic Convo Express, or you can check us out on the youtube.com/Comic Convo Express. Pedro, the Marvel fanboy.
Puppy
How you
Pedro.
doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. How you doing, Pat?
Same old, can't complain.
Awesome.
Puppy Pedro.
And to my right, oh, are we off a little bit? Hold on a second.
Where? Spider-Man.
Hang on, gentlemen. Let me see what's wrong with the.
Due to technical difficulties, please stand by.
Listen to music. Do, 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 do.
All right, maybe it's just me then. We're good. Okay. And to my right, we have our DC expert who's also expedited in a lot of older Marvel content and who dabbles onto the newer. This is what I'm talking about. What is happening right now? Are you guys hearing an audio delay in the chat? Can you let me know? I can see this being a rough episode.
Play elevator.
Run with it, baby. Run with it.
Right?
When in Rome, you do what the Romans do, man. Just run with it.
Well, that's part of the problem is if it's completely off, then we're not going to be doing anything.
Oh,
I got to
man.
see what's wrong with it, with the pod.
Could do a mic check.
Redwood, I can see you're in the chat, bud. How far are we off in audio? Loving the shirts.
Oh, represent.
Spider-Man.
I like his shirt better. Got Spider-Man on
Trade you.
it. Got the Punisher represent too, you know. You like the Daredevil movie? Show, excuse me.
Hold. Let's make sure we're good. I can't see a difference. Okay, Redwood, so everything looks good then? Thumbs up.
Just run with it, baby.
Thank you, Redwood.
Oh, now see, I see it. There's a delay. There's too many things up, so we got to get right into things
Game.
ASAP here.
It's all good.
Cool. All right, so I'm sorry. So, Tommy, yes, I'm sorry. How you doing, Tommy?
I'm very well, man. And yourself?
Same old.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you guys, man. Nice to see
Good
you
to
guys.
be together.
Yeah,
Comic Convo
it is.
back together for this show of Between the Panels. Gotta love it.
Yeah, no, fun times. As long as the stream doesn't crash and my PC holds up, we'll be fine. We'll be totally fine.
Nice.
So gentlemen, there's been a lot of news in the last 2
yes.
weeks. Something that we should start off with. Let's get all the Marvel stuff out of the way first, because there is more Marvel news than there is DC.
Let's bring it.
So
Sounds good, brother.
if you guys direct to our screen, we have a big announcement. Pedro, you want to talk about this?
Yes, Marvel Knights Joe Quesada returns to Marvel for a new series with Christopher Priest, the writer.
Nice. Do you mind just reading this right here?
Sure, here we go. It's in 1998, Christopher Priest penned Black Panther's comics launch alongside 3 other books under the Marvel Knights imprint: Daredevil, The Punisher, and Inhumans. Priest's run reinvented the monarch of Wakanda, King T'Challa, a character who hadn't headlined his own solo title since a 4-issue limited series a decade earlier. The seminal run, which began with a phone call from then Marvel editor Joe Quesada, featured characters who would go on to appear on the groundbreaking Black Panther movie in 2018, including Nakia and Okoye of the Dora Milaje, of course, Zuri and Everett Ross.
Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah. So that comes from us from comicbookresources.com. I think this is a big one, guys, to see Marvel Knights kind of return. That's
It's the imprint itself.
It's classic.
yeah,
It was one of the
sure.
best series because they took all these series that were not doing too well when it was in the regular Marvel line. Pretty much all of them were canceled, and they decided to put them on one section with editor Joe Quesada running it. And he just like picked out the talent that was just making those series really hot.
I still remember those covers. Those covers
know.
were sick by Joe Quesada.
And no, he even took himself to draw Daredevil, what he did with Kevin Smith.
I even got the poster from Wizard that had them all on it.
And Christopher Priest worked with Mark Texiera on Black Panther.
Yes, tech.
I think it was Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee on Inhumans.
Mhm.
And who did Garth Ennis later on? It was Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon on The Punisher.
Yep.
There was a creator before that, but Marvel, Punisher was a little shaky in
Yep.
first with the Angel thing. But
I mean, other than the humans, everything was like street level heroes, pretty
Yeah,
much.
basically. So now that Wasada's back, I love his artwork, hands down.
Oh yeah,
One of the best hot artists
Oh.
to this day. I got to meet him a long time ago. Hopefully he remembers me.
Mm-hmm.
But to him working with Christopher Priest, that's an interesting combo. So
That's
I give it a heads up. on
Actually, just for fun, two things I want you guys both to talk about, if
Mhm.
that's cool with you both.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd love to hear both of your opinions on Marvel Knights. If you guys want to give a quick summary of what Marvel Knights was back in the late '90s, early
Take a lead.
2000s. Well, and the other part of that actually is, do you want to tell the story about when you met Joe Quesada?
Well, I'll start with the Joe Quesada. I went to one of the conventions in New York. It wasn't New York Comic Con at the time. It was a different one.
Okay.
And as soon as I walked through the door, they had a contest at the door. You know, you buy a ticket and everything like that, and you get have lunch with Joe Quesada. And I walked in with my wife, who was ready to just go and meet all these writers and artists. And as soon as I heard this contest, we decided to buy a couple tickets. Sure
never
enough,
know.
we didn't think we were going to win it
You never know.
because it was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And I think 2 or 3 days later, I got a call from them and told me I won the contest. So all I had to do was go back to New York and you know, right into Manhattan, go to the Marvel building, which was awesome. It was life changing.
Dude, that's dope, man.
And
You had lunch with him.
I had lunch with him.
Yeah, the story, man.
I thought this happened like in 2000. I think it was 2001,
Oh, cool.
right around that time. So we came back to Connecticut and we had to go back to New York. I went by myself by train. I went through the city and went right to where Marvel. I was excited just to be near the Marvel building at first, and I met
That's
with
dope,
one of
man.
the representative, Gabriel. If you remember, I remember you. Nice guy. Asked me a couple questions to ask me if I was excited, and everything like that. So Joe Quesada was in the middle of a meeting, but we're gonna go up there. He's gonna meet us outside, and we're gonna go for lunch.
That's
So
dope,
he came
man.
out, dude. It was awesome, dude. It was great. We walked to the restaurant, which was pretty cool. Just walked to the city, hanging out with these guys who worked at Marvel and Joe and everything like that. Go into the restaurant, we order our food, and then he was just grilling me, asking me questions what I think about Marvel, who was my favorite artist. And that question took me off guard because one of my favorite artists at the time was Ron Lim, old school.
Yes.
I had the tattoo
Yep.
of Ron Lim.
Oh, hold up.
And-
Let me get a closer.
You got a closer look of Silver Surfer.
So, Joe, it's not you.
I that was my first instant reaction.
Turn your arm just a little bit more.
Say when?
Keep going. That's about that. Yep.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's a little dark,
It's
but
a little dark, but it's Ron Lim's Silver Surfer when he his run on it. So thank you. So as soon as I said it, I'm looking. I was like, and of course Daredevil, because I just got that issue about a month ago.
Yep.
So it was like I said his name too, and he was all like, "Oh, he was cool about it." But it was so fun, dude. We hung out, we were joking around like crazy. He was quizzing me a little bit what I knew about Marvel. And then we walked back to the Marvel building. He offered me a tour inside the Marvel building. Dude,
Whoa.
blew my mind. We walked in there. He showed me some like issues that were coming out. Gave me a little preview heads up. I saw like a Fantastic Four connector drawn by Mike Waringo. I don't know if anybody's seen it. It has all 4 members. It was like each issue after, but it connects downward.
Rest in
And-
peace, Mike Waringo.
Mark Waringo. Yo, I was amazed. They showed me a trailer that they were doing on Marvel.com, a music video, and they were promoting the Hulk at the time. I loved it. I was the first to see it.
That's dope, man.
Got to meet Tom
Behind the
Brevoort,
scenes.
and we got to a little bit like who knows more and who's a bigger fan. It was
Yep.
pretty cool. I kind of like downed him, but made it look like I knew better. Even
That's
though I
dope.
didn't, but he was the man, Tom Brevoort. So basically, it was a great tour. I loved it. They also gave me another pass to come back there for another tour and I brought Laura, my wife, with me and everything. That we had a great time. Dude, Joe Quesada, mad respect. He was the editor in chief at this time.
Yes,
too.
he was a big boy.
He,
Yep.
he moved up after Marvel Knights.
that's pretty cool.
But it was a great start. It was a great guy. Hands up, Joe. You the man, JQ.
I hope you realize when my mother comes as a guest appearance on this,
I hope she brings it up.
I hope so too.
Good.
Yeah,
She
I'll
knows-
remind her.
She knows how giddy I could be as a fanboy, but she was just laughing about me.
Be like, hey, Mom, when you went to New York,
I mean, she was the only one who thought I was going to win. That's why I was like, we're all going to be.
that was dope. Out of
it was
all
good
those
to
people,
try.
dude,
I
you
got
got it.
picked, exactly.
That's dope, man.
So, shout out to everybody at the Marvel bullpen, and Joe, you the man.
That's a great experience, man.
Yeah, it was. So
Yeah,
that's my experience on that. As far as the Marvel Knights go,
Yeah.
He was the editor. He found all the time. He found Kevin Smith, to get him to work on Daredevil and Paul Jenkins.
Well,
and
here, slow
Jimmy
down a little bit.
Palmiotti was the
So,
anchor.
for those who don't know, what was Marvel Knights?
Yeah.
Marvel Knights was the idea was basically to take low tier heroes that weren't popular, like Spider-Man and X-Men,
weren't selling, yeah.
and try to like put hot talent on there that you would never see in any of these books,
Give them a boost.
and give them a boost.
Yep.
And
What it was.
it was and the stories were very grounded to the point that it was almost revolutionary at the time. And it excelled Daredevil up on the charts. It put the humans on the map. Black Panther, who he was always popular, but he just couldn't break that barrier. Broke the barrier during that run, the Marvel Knights run. Punisher was always there. It was just getting the right talent to get that
work on him
to do it good. And Marvel Knights ran. I think it ran for almost like 9 years before it merged back into the Marvel Universe.
Yep.
But Daredevil and Black Panther, and they were just like the bomb at that time. And the talent they got, you wouldn't have seen them in Marvel. I mean, eventually they would have been in Marvel, but at that time they wasn't going to step in that arena.
No,
And he got them in there.
refresh my memory. Was the Marvel Knights the one where Punisher was like possessed?
Yes,
Something.
at
He
the
had
time.
the two guns.
He just
They were like
died
ghost
and
guns.
came back as a Dark Angel.
Yes,
And
I really
then
remember.
Dark Kennedy brought him back to reality, and that was it.
I liked it. It was my personal opinion. Humans was great.
Yes.
Daredevil, I felt was a little more darker, but like you said, it was a breath of fresh air. Same thing with Punisher, it was a little more darker. Black Panther, it just put them all pretty much on the map, like you said.
Exactly. I mean,
I really enjoyed it.
Daredevil was only his height of his career was basically when Frank Miller came in.
Yes,
and then he left, and it just like steadily declined really badly. But when Kevin Smith jumped on it, it went back up to the point that it never came back down.
Well, you remember the John Romita, Frank Miller?
Yeah, the man without fear.
Yeah, miniseries.
Born Again
was really
that
good.
was really good. Everything you see in the Netflix and the Disney Plus Daredevil came from either Frank Miller, Kevin Smith, Brian Bendis, Ed Brubaker. Like these guys were like the highlight.
Influence.
And most of those guys, with the exception of Frank Miller, came on during the Marvel Knights Daredevil. So that's something to think about.
Good stuff.
Last thing before I move off from the huge news about Marvel Knights returning, what separated Marvel Knights from the regular comic book series? What was its big defining feature?
That's a very good question.
Well, like the Punisher was different.
I'll start with the Punisher. When Garth Ennis came in and we saw this dark, like the tone
he had a
was very
symbol.
dark.
He had a
The
symbol on his
violence,
head, and he had like ghostly weapons. It was really different than the norm of
and then Daredevil's very when I say grounded, like him, even as just to discuss Matt Murdock, was awesome.
Shout out to Jimmy Palmiotti.
The artwork was
Palmiotti. Yeah,
another one. Jimmy.
Nice.
But I think what the artwork matched. Like, you know how you have a book that had like a great writer and a great artist.
Yeah.
Everything that came out of Marvel Knights had that philosophy.
Yes.
Now over in the regular side of Marvel, they do that philosophy, but they're more limited to like what X-Men can do, the Avengers can do.
Well, so explain it to me like I'm 5 for a second, right? When you say limited, right?
Yes.
We're talking limited.
Like limited to like the growth of a character.
So you're saying Marvel Knights was more mature. It would be the equivalent of like DC's Black Label.
Everything. And they took a lot of chances on Marvel Knights. To give them props for that.
Okay, but its defining feature is it was definitely more mature writing and mature graphics.
It was the beginning.
How long did Marvel Knights run prior to?
I think 92 to 2009. I think.
No, I think it came. Marvel Knights began like in 98.
Oh, that late?
It was that late because that was right after Heroes Reborn.
Yes.
And, Marvel was going to the bankruptcy
Revamp, yeah.
Towards the end of the bankruptcy, they hired Joe just to edit his own books. That's what was the imprint of Marvel Knights.
Wait, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. My apologies.
Yes.
If Marvel Knights started in 98.
Remember the bankruptcy came on.
Remember when all the artists bounced and went to Image?
I do.
Rob.
I do.
And Marvel Knights was the way to bring them back in.
Yeah.
But when was Punisher possessed? Wasn't that 95?
98.
It was?
Yeah. That's when he was launched.
Is it 99? Is it 99 when Welcome Back Frank comes out?
Welcome Back Frank.
I'm going to look it up.
I think it was 2000. I'm going to be honest with you. You could double check me on that.
That was kind of a revamp.
Before Garth Ennis jumped on her.
They brought him back
But they had two writers that came in.
Marvel tends to do that. Sorry.
So it was two writers that came in, and I think it was Bernie Wrightson who did the artwork.
Yes.
And Joe Jusko jumped in with the covers. Hey,
Yep.
Joe Jusko. So that's when they did the Punisher, and that's when he was an angel. They had two limited series. One where the Marvel Knights launched, which they did the 4-issue limited series.
Mhm.
And then there was another one with it was like anime style with Pat Lee, I think it was. And that was where he teamed up with Wolverine.
Yeah, that was sick. I have those.
It was a cool artwork, was pretty
Have them.
good.
It was
Story-wise, it was a little iffy, but it was cool that we had Wolverine in it. And then all of a sudden, they get, after the 4-issue limited series,
Yep.
they gave it a break, and then Garth Ennis came in and whipped his butt on that.
98 September. You were right
correct.
there.
Because I remember it was like the tail end of the bankruptcy, and I think 2 years as he was doing Marvel Knights and how the numbers were going up, I think they ended up hiring Joe Quesada as the editor-in-chief. He was promoted.
Big boy.
And he still had his hands on Marvel Knights while he was doing the rest of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
And he revamped it, helped get him out of the bankruptcy in Marvel. And all of a sudden, Marvel just became a big juggernaut with Quesada staring the chips.
Well, prior to that, Quesada was doing the X Factor. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, as an artist.
That's when all the
He did a
artists
couple
were.
issues on
Jim
X
Lee was on the
Factor.
regular X-Men.
Yep.
Willis Patashio was on Uncanny.
Mhm.
Jay Lee was over in New Mutants, I want to say.
Yes.
And X Factor. But Quesada did a really nice.
He did a good run.
Yeah,
He did.
That's
He
artist,
worked with Peter David. That's why it was so good.
Yeah.
And then, it was around the time that
That brings back memories,
bankruptcy.
man.
It does. It's good memory.
Great times.
Once
man.
you say bankruptcy, that's when it was like, oh.
Great time. Yeah,
And then all of a sudden,
had to
Hero
do
Reborn
something.
came in.
They did really good.
And yeah,
They did really good.
Quesada gave him props, and now that he's back and doing Marvel Knights and he's doing the artwork,
Mhm.
I'm okay with that. I'm very happy with that. And you get Christopher Priest, who he has experience doing Black Panther. He's one of the big writers ever on Black Panther. That's the perfect choice to work with him to bring back Marvel Knights.
Yes.
So hope more titles come out under the Marvel Knights. So
That'd be great.
that would be cool.
Well, they've relaunched, the Ultimates. Why not?
What? Bring them all back. Let's
Why
do
the
it.
hell not?
Make it a little backwards. So the talent is updated.
More is good.
More is good.
So yes, Marvel Knights will be returning to Marvel Comics. That's going to be great. Let's get into our next bit of Marvel news here. If you guys would direct yourselves to. Oh, let me get rid of this. I don't know why this is here. So another big Marvel news that we actually kind of briefly talked about. I can't remember if it was in our episode of Between the Panels or if it was during the Comic Convo Express, but we made a comment about Kevin Smith.
I got a retraction to make.
Yeah. So I had said on the pod, wouldn't it be cool if Kevin Smith finished his Daredevil run? And what was it you had said?
And I said I don't think he'll ever come back.
Well,
because he's always had to put out an issue. It did take he would launch 2 or 3 issues that were awesome. It was hot books. I think because he had a busy schedule, or maybe he was just still rewriting books.
Too consistent.
He just wasn't too consistent. No disrespect to Kevin Smith. He doesn't deserve it.
doubles down on
When
it.
he drops it, it's like dropping a mic. And it was awesome. And Daredevil, he managed to finish his run, but it did take a while. It took like almost a year and a half before 6 issues came out and 7 issues. And then when he did Spider-Man and Black Cat, the Men Do, first 3 issues came out, and then we waited
Terry
years.
Dodson, I believe.
before it finished.
Right? Terry Dodson?
Terry Dodson was the artist, yeah.
I
And
mean,
it wasn't even Terry Dodson's fault. It was just
No.
the script comment. So after he finished everything he was supposed to do, with the exception of Daredevil Target, which I'm still upset about to this day, he never finished. He dropped 1 issue. No, it wasn't Target. Excuse me. It was Daredevil Bullseye Target. And he dropped the first issue. I loved it. Wanted to see the second issue. It never came out to this day.
Oh.
And Smith is a busy man. I get it. But I always wanted him to finish it, and I didn't think he would ever come back. And we're talking about years after this.
Let's pull it back.
Let's pull it back.
Yes, literally right after that pod had dropped from our live show. Next day it was announced. So do you want to read what Screen Rant says for us?
Sure, absolutely. From Screen Rant. Here we go. It's happening. It's happening, everybody. Kevin Smith is returning to Marvel with a special Spider-Man tribute. Here we go. Kevin Smith made a huge splash in comics when he rebooted Daredevil in the late 90s, and now the filmmakers return to Marvel with an all-new Spider-Man story. Smith is just one name in all-star creative lineup, which will be gathered together for one oversized special set to be released in June.
Fantastic. So, Tommy, I'm actually going to ask you first on this too. So you've read Kevin Smith's work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I read his Daredevil run and I read the Black Cat and Spider-Man run. This was great. I really, really enjoyed it.
I love it.
I wanted to see more from him.
Did you ever read his run in Batman by any chance?
No,
Oh yeah, it's
Right, he did
it's a good one.
Batman.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
He did it right
When did that come
after-
out?
I can get you a year.
If I were to guess, it was somewhere in 2002,
I'd have to
2003.
go check it out.
Because we
very,
were waiting
very
for him
good.
to finish Spider-Man Black Cat. Next thing I know, he was at Batman. We're sitting there going,
Oh, you like
he was work. I think it was with artist Phil Hester
We can find out.
with that Green Arrow. He also did Green Arrow.
still remember I think it was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes.
Shout out one of my great franchise. I love all that stuff.
The View Askew.
One of the scenes when they're at the movie theaters, there's a scene where they run down the alley and there's a guy dressed up as Daredevil. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that, right? And next thing you know, Kevin Smith is right in Daredevil.
He was rolling on the floor.
Yeah, you remember that?
Scene. That was a good
I'll
scene.
never forget that, dude. That was great. But then, like I said, fast forward. Shout out to Ben Affleck, dude. Daredevil.
Batman and Daredevil.
He was Batman and Daredevil.
Kevin Smith pulled strings on that. He gave a good word for him, and that's how he got hired between both sets. But Kevin Smith, I mean, he's a very funny, like he's gifted.
Yes.
And I mean, he's got a lot on his plate. He multitasks. He does all the stuff. He runs, did the comic book show that he did on AMC.
Yep.
Busy man, and then like he felt like he disappeared, but he really was here. He was just focusing on directing movies.
Comic Book Man, I believe is called.
Yeah, comic book was the show.
Yeah.
And then he brought back Clerks. He finished the whole Clerk trilogy.
You okay?
So he's been, I'm good.
Okay. So you need a minute? You want to tell me?
I'm trying to think at the same time. Just slow it down.
Throw me a layup.
But like Kevin Smith was busy these past couple years, so it's like I never thought he would come backwards and just do comics again. So that's probably so I retract my statement. I'm happy he's back and he's doing Marvel again.
Back.
Keep it up,
back,
Kev.
Smith.
So,
I remember. I'll just say this. I remember on the Comic Book Man, he said that before he did the movie Clerks, he needed to raise money. He sold his whole entire actual comic book collection to raise the money to get the money to make the movie.
Smart.
That movie's amazing. I can still watch it today, and it still holds its own, man. I love it.
I got the whole collection. Pete knows about it.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. Love it. We actually had watched on my channel. We watched Dogma about a year ago.
Classic, bro.
Very, very fun. I'm surprised we didn't get copyright strike with that, but
classic.
Whatever works there.
Right in time for Easter.
I didn't say this year.
Not this year.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
All right. So we're gonna get into some cinema news. That's keeping with the theme of Marvel. The Marvel Avengers Doomsday cast has been teased online. I'm gonna pull up the screen for us to watch. We're going to live react to the casting call. All right, let's give that a second. All right.
That's Thor.
Chris Hemsworth.
The Invisible Woman. The new Captain America. Bucky, the Winter Soldier. The new Black Panther. Ant-Man. That's U.S. Agent, in case anybody don't remember. That's Namor, the Submariner.
We have people on audio only. So if you continue.
Shang-Chi, obviously. Florence is the White Widow. The Beast from X-Men.
The original X-Men.
That's Sentry. That's the new Falcon. The Human Torch. Red Guardian. The Thing. The Ghost. Loki. Professor Xavier.
From the original.
Magneto. Also from the original. Nightcrawler. Mystique.
From the original.
Cyclops. Also from the original.
Thank you.
Gambit from Deadpool Wolverine. Mr. Fantastic. And of course, you know who Robert Downey Jr. is.
And Mr. Fantastic from the newer movie.
Yes.
Again, because there's people on audio only, they have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, they haven't seen the video yet.
Well, they can't if they're watching the pod.
That's right. Good, dude.
All right, my friends.
It's in production.
Marvel Avengers Doomsday is now in production. The original release date, I don't even remember when it was set to, so it's fine. We'll talk about it after. Let's get right into the next thing now that we know. So, Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League has finally released. Pedro, do you mind reading this? This comes from comicbookresources.com.
Yes, from CBR. It is Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League. It is a must-see for DC and anime fans. Batman Ninja arrived in 2018, giving us a serviceable, neat animated adventure that featured Bruce Wayne, his allies, and his enemies transported to feudal Japan. During his journey, nearly all the characters were given makeovers to reflect their new surroundings while also using a CG animation style that made the outing look unlike anything else, focusing on the Dark Knight to date. While the first movie was a solid new take on Batman, its sequel is one that improves on almost every aspect of its predecessors while giving DC fans some story bits that are well worth its runtime. I totally agree.
Okay, fantastic. So, now I don't know about you. I have not seen the film yet. Tommy has.
Yes.
So, give us an insight.
So on that note,
There you go.
breathtaking, amazing, everything what the first one was, 10 times elevated. I mean, from the anime, right from the get, man. It's in the trailer if you guys go watch it.
Yes.
Freaking raining Yakuza out from the sky, and everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Batman shows up, Robin shows up, and they're all like anime looking, but they know that they're not from this reality.
Right.
Sick, bro. It's so dope. They have a version of Green Lantern shows up, and you're like, what the hell?
Really?
Then they have a version of Flash show up, and you're like,
Oh.
yo, dude, when I tell you Flash shows up on the scene, right? You see this dude walking, and you see electricity going around, and you're like, yo, this dude looks like Raiden from Mortal Kombat, right? So you're watching, and you're like, what's this? And he's like, something. And Robin goes, Flash, is that you? And he lifts up his hat. Dope. You remember Miles enter Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Remember the first episode or first movie?
Yeah.
Where they're like, hi, I'm Penny Parker, blah, blah, blah. You know, Spider-Man.
When they introduced them.
Yeah, they're just like, hi, I'm Spider-Gwen, and something similar to that. He's like, I'm Flash, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I'm the leader of this gang. And it stops and shows all this Japanese anime behind him. It's so dope. Similar to that.
So the Justice League is showing up in this movie, or
Batman figures out that there's no Justice League here, but whoever is here,
yes,
bro,
they're gonna show up.
You never see it coming. Then they show something happened, and there's a version of Harley Quinn there. Sick. They got a version of Superman, and Batman's like, yeah, if I know everybody else is here, I know Clark's here too. But it's so dope when I tell you, bro. And a version of Wonder Woman shows up. Aquaman. That's all I gotta say, man. Holy cow!
I missed most of the trailer.
Justice League.
When they show up, like Aquaman shows up, he's like, I'm the king of Poseidon, or whatever. And he stops and he has this nasty staff. He's like up on a thing of water, like spinning it and hold him up.
Mm-hmm.
All anime style. Sick. Blow your mind. And he's like, I'm the whatever leader or whatever. And it stops and it shows Aquaman and shows like all these Japanese, like, it's dope. I'm not gonna tell you no more. You gotta watch it, dude.
Yeah,
you got it.
When it comes out, when does it come out?
It's already out. I watched it.
Really?
That's when.
Only the first one.
Dad.
No. Batman versus Yakuza is like part 2 to the original, Ninja. So it is Batman Ninja.
Okay,
similar.
So it is. I have to check. I'm sorry.
I
thought it was coming out. Like I'm ready.
No, it's out.
He started to say Tommy has seen it.
Dude, and Wonder Woman is sick, bro. You got to see Wonder Woman. She has this sick staff, and her shield is actually at the end of the staff.
Now, who's the main villain in this movie?
I can't tell you.
Can't tell me.
I can't tell you. You gotta watch it. But I just gave you that little tidbit. But must see. 10 out of 10. No, I'm sorry, 20 out of 10.
Nice.
It's that good.
Not good, huh?
Wait till you see it, man. You're gonna be like, oh, dude. And then Red Hood shows up, and you're like, whoa.
We'll have to follow that.
Whole Bat family's there, bro.
We'll definitely have to follow that up on the combo.
Okay, we can watch it.
I'll check it out.
We'll watch it. No doubt.
For sure.
Popcorn night. Movie every night at my crib.
Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League is out officially everywhere, where you can buy movies. That includes Apple TV for $19.99 USD. We do not condone piracy.
No piracy.
No.
Amazon Prime Video.
99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Sorry.
It's okay. The Google Play Store for
Yes.
movie and TV and YouTube.
Support DC, baby.
Yep. Okay, cool. I blew past the Avengers casting. Anybody have a conversation with that, or are we just gonna move on
Well,
from that?
I mean, I remember when I first saw this on YouTube. Yes, I saw it on YouTube. They had the longer version. Like they show us one cheer and they give you like 2 minutes to react to it before they move to the next one. So I ended up like fast forwarding it to get everybody. Cause I was pumped up. I was getting pumped up by who was going to be in this Avengers movie. And then Robert Downey Jr. ends at the end, and I was like all pumped. And then I realized that they did this to show that the Fantastic Four is going to be in it, the Thunderbolts are going to be in it, the X-Men from the Fox days is going to be in it.
Yep.
And
The original X-Men from Fox days, not the newer cast.
but I don't know if this. I mean, as much as this is leaked by Marvel Studios and Robert Downey Jr., I wonder if there's more to come.
You think he leaked it, Robert Downey?
Oh, he
It's
made
not-
it look like
Yeah,
he made
yeah,
it look
yeah.
like he leaked it.
I
But
got
obviously,
that.
Marvel Studios
Yeah.
allowed it. But what I'm saying is, I got
It's not a leak. It's on their official YouTube.
Yeah,
That's how we
right.
just saw it.
Well, I got a feeling there's more actors.
Oh,
Probably, yeah.
that's just
on
the tip of the
line.
iceberg.
So yeah. So don't think that it's like that's it.
That's all you get.
That's all you get for Doomsday. You have to watch Secret Wars to find out Wolverine shows up or not. We don't know if he's going to be in there or not. We're going to find
Got
out.
it, man.
So,
He's got it.
oh, I mean, we didn't see Spider-Man. in
Oh, maybe
this.
we'll get what's his name? Wolverine.
No.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Maybe.
might show us
There
something.
was something leaked
About him. You
about
saw that, right?
yeah,
About him playing
not for Doomsday, but
No,
for
right after Secret War.
yeah.
Maybe after.
Never
I
know.
saw the
He's
leak
a
as well.
I saw
potential-
that too.
He's
I
going
saw
to be
that.
like the potential replacement, because Fox. There's the Fox universe. There's the Marvel universe.
Dude, that Wolverine Deadpool still blows my mind.
No, that was an awesome movie.
It was such a
Very
great
good
job.
movie. That's why I'm waiting. They didn't even announce Deadpool being in it, even though he's supposed to be. So I don't know.
So my 2 cents on the new Avengers movie, I
Mhm.
just can't see Robert Downey as Doom.
Let me ask you guys
I know
a
he's going to
question.
be Doom. I saw it. I know it. I saw
Right.
everything. But to me personally, this is just me.
Iron Man.
Guys, don't hate me. This is just me. DC fan. This is just me. I love Marvel too. Everything. I love it all. My thing is, me personally, I just feel it tarnishes his legacy as Iron Man.
No. It depends on how they come out with this, because
Just
I have a weird
hey,
feeling.
that's my opinion. I just
I have
told you
a
that.
weird feeling this Doctor Doom
That's my opinion.
is Tony Stark from another multiversal universe.
Okay, I've been
So
saying that.
I'm
since day
I'm
one,
open
too,
to that.
yeah.
If they say this is Doctor Doom in our universe, we got a problem. So I would feel like you.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
think
when,
this
when
is
Spider-Man
multiverse.
sees the man behind the mask, oh man, it's gonna be
that's the best part.
that's gonna be.
But you know what was big about this reveal? Out of all the names, which one stood out the most?
Out of all the reveal, Magneto, because the actor died.
He's got a point.
That's one stuck out to me.
Yeah, that one kind of sticks
That
out
one
to me.
kinda stuck out.
No
to me.
one's thinking about maybe Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
I can take him or leave him for this one.
And Thor's going to be in this movie. Don't we have a potential to see the brothers reunite?
I'll take it or leave it.
Well,
Oh, take it.
if you've seen the last Thor movie, on when Chris Hemsworth had no shirt or no clothes,
Yes.
if you saw his back, he has a shout out to his brother Loki. But remember, he died a few times.
True. That's what I'm saying. It'd be a good
He had a
thing to
tattoo of him in
reunite
his
it.
back.
And this Loki was the hero after season 2 of Loki. So
Yeah, but
That's right. Which one are we gonna get in this?
it should
That's
be that.
true, yeah.
It could be an alternate, different universe.
You never know.
Never mind. You're probably right. Then you're right. X-Men member coming back. Maybe.
I think they got to CGI the shit out of Magneto. Sorry for swearing.
Well, because he's older.
you're fine.
No, because
He's dead.
it's not him. It can't be him
The actor's passed.
True.
unless they get a guy that looks like him. Because
Well,
they,
based on what I'm seeing from the X-Men cast,
yeah,
it looks like they're being plucked from the Fox universe, which I'm only guessing here. But
Yeah.
I think what's happening is maybe they're plucking them up from the Fox universe before they died in the Last Stand.
Yeah, but how
Because
do you,
Nightcrawler's on the lineup.
but hang on for a second. It's
Where-
not that the character is dead. The actor who
actor
played
who actually
Magneto is
portrays
dead.
him is
Ian McClellan passed away.
He
I
died.
believe he
Yeah,
did.
He
I
died.
double check, but I thought he passed
He
away
did.
too.
Double check.
Kid you
that.
not, he
I didn't
died.
hear. I didn't hear.
That's
about him.
Gandalf, dude, from Lord of the Rings.
I know, but I didn't think he passed.
Yes, he shall pass. We all passed. We all passed.
I know Patrick's.
Oh, nope, this man's still kicking.
There you
He's still
go.
alive?
He's
Thank you.
85 years old.
I've been vindicated,
Dude,
people.
who's the guy from Gandalf?
I've been vindicated.
No, it's him. It's him. He just didn't die.
Thought he died.
Dude, I would have known if he died.
That's where he died.
Sorry, Ian. Sorry, Ian.
My bad.
But
But
no.
never mind. Yeah,
The fact that he's still
that makes
thinking,
more sense.
he could still be Magneto.
He's gonna pull himself in the middle wheelchair.
I know. As soon as you said that, I was like, I just thought you were just making fun that he was old or something. He can't play Magneto. But
I swore he died, P. You know what?
wow.
It's the Mandela effect.
Oh, don't say that.
Dude.
This man dies. I'm gonna feel
He
so
died.
bad.
No, he's alive. He's Magneto. He's in the movie.
I heard I was like, rest in peace to Gandalf. I'm like, dude, damn, why Gandalf die? Unless it was fake news.
It could have been. I mean,
Fake news. I think
yeah.
you guys got caught in the fake news.
Fake
Sorry.
news.
probably.
It's
Fake news.
Fake news.
yeah, I think I was like ready.
He was
to
like
fall.
99%
When,
sure he was gone.
I looked at both. I was like, no, he's not.
Fact check, he's still alive.
See, that's
See, I would have bawled if remember when Daredevil season 2 released and there was a huge like hoax that John Buthal had passed, and I was like, no, but it turned out to be a hoax.
What
Thank
a
God.
release.
Oh, that was I was like ready to like
such
cry.
a
I was
big
like,
time actor.
what?
Shane, no.
Like the actor who played the White Tiger in the Daredevil series. He
Rest in
passed
peace.
He
right
did
after he did
after
his
the
scene.
film,
So-
yeah.
And then, of course, following a couple months later, then like we talked about last time,
The OG Black
what's it,
Panther.
the guy who played Lex Luthor?
Oh yeah, we talked about him last time.
We
Yeah,
talked about it last time. So
Yeah.
Gene Hackman, yeah.
Rest in
Oh,
peace.
okay. I'm
Chris Bowman.
glad we're not
Chadwick Boseman.
alone thinking that
Boseman.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
you know, pass.
it's exciting to see them come back as the X-Men. I
That'd be
hope it's the whole
So let me ask you this.
X-Men.
I was going to say, since
for it.
all X-Men, you saw Mystique and all them, where's Phoenix?
I was thinking about that as I was reading the name.
What would you rather have
We
on
didn't
your team?
We
than
didn't
a
see Halle
Phoenix?
Berry. We didn't see Famke Jensen. We didn't see Hugh Jackman, obviously. But they put Gambit in it.
And a Bishop.
I was like,
Remember the Bishop?
Oh yeah,
so I mean, I think there's more names going to be added, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to wait for the movie to come out.
That's
It's
fair.
going to be the bomb.
You know, you
We
bombed
could
out.
all hate and speculate.
Deadpool has to be in there, right?
The real deal
Yeah, I think
comes
so.
out on that
Pete,
date.
Deadpool has to be in there. Right?
Oh, yes. I think
Actually,
so.
no, I redact that. I don't think Deadpool has to be in it. I think he'll be in Secret Wars rather than Doomsday.
Yeah, there's two choices.
Yeah.
You're either going to be in Doomsday or you're going to be in Secret Wars. I'm definitely hearing a little speculation.
I like to see the script because there's a lot of players.
Well,
there.
there's
You got to give them all like a drop of screen
you got to
time.
remember, I don't know who's doing this movie. Both
Yeah,
movies.
the
Russo brothers. And
Yeah.
if they could do
Oh,
Endgame to Infinity
Russo Brothers, one of Twin Powers activate.
form of water.
Form of a bird.
If these guys did what they did during Infinity War and Endgame, they'll be fine.
Form of a 40 ounce.
Actually-
with a brown bag.
Hang on for a second though. Tommy is not a huge fan of the Russo's brothers' works in Endgame. So
Endgame, but he loved Infinity War, right?
Big not fan of the Endgame.
About Infinity War.
Still, Infinity War, hands down.
That was the first time you saw all these heroes together.
Should have ended
Yeah,
it
but-
with that.
but hang
Henry.
on, but
Infinity War right there.
this is the argument to be had,
They
right?
didn't
Here
make
we go.
Endgame. They didn't make Endgame yet, right?
They did
I'm
both
just-
movies.
That's what you got.
Well, I was going to say to your point too. The Russo brothers did a really good job at the setup of the end of the first wave of the MCU, and they kind of botched the ending for you.
I don't
So
blame
how
him.
do you?
I don't blame him.
So how do you feel though?
Me
Like,
personally, like I said, from the initial time you saw Thanos at the end of the movie, you were like, "Oh my God, Thanos is coming!" Right? Whatever. And then you're talking about a good 10-year span between from that movie drop to Endgame, right? For them, still, I'm gonna stick to my guns. For them to give me that storyline, no, but hear me out.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's play with the time stone. Let's go back in time, get all the gems, blah blah blah. Have Captain America bring it back,
Which
blah
was a
blah
good
blah.
idea, right?
yeah,
Retired Captain America, made him old. Don't get me wrong, you could do so much with that. The
Like-
invaders, you could do the invaders. You can have a lot of
There's
because
a lot of stories that
Because
could
if
have
you
been
stop
told.
and think about it, you ready? Cap went back in time, right? You with Peggy? There's two Captain Americas back then. One frozen and the Cap that went back. So you mean to tell me that Cap can't here's an idea.
I'm
Here's a
listening to
theory.
it.
What if Cap became nomad? Because Cap's not gonna sit back and let crime and let Hitler and let everybody do what they're doing.
So
You
there's
know what I'm
only
saying?
there's only one problem to that.
There's two Caps.
So technically, no. Let's think about it like this, right? you've created in one timeline an infinite loop. So all the events of Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War,
Civil
all
War,
the
yeah.
Avengers, all of that has to chronologically happen to get to the point where Captain America, who was frozen at the time, takes all the stones and sends them back in time and drops them off, and then ends at point. So point, this is going to sound weird. Point B is frozen Captain America. Point A is the Captain America that lives a full life with Peggy Carter, right? So think about this. B wakes up in modern times, goes through all the events of the movies, gets to.
But that Cap has to still be alive when he's unfrozen. You understand? So there's
No, I
technically
do.
2 Caps.
So, but then here's the thing. Here's the
IP,
thing,
there's
though.
2 Caps.
There's. Hang on for a second, though. The 2 Caps are running in time, perfectly synced. So that means that Cap B over here doesn't exist, or Cap A can't exist with Cap B. So Cap B, when he goes back in time, now you're moving Cap A. Cap B becomes Cap A, and now there's a new Cap B. So that has to continuously stream to make sure the timeline doesn't batter out of control. Now, technically,
let me ask you. I'm sorry
no,
to cut you off.
Yeah.
The TVA detect that the our Cap that went back in time.
They can't
detect them and like ice them and throw them in where a Deadpool Wolverine was. That's why there was an Ant-Man there.
No, because he doesn't cause an anomaly in the timeline.
That's the answer.
Right, but listen, it's still Cap.
Cap,
but he's old.
Yeah, the moment he brought back the moment Cap goes into the past, he brings the gems back and he goes back to see Peggy in the past. Mind you, this Cap was already on ice, so he ends up meeting up with Peggy. They end up having their relationship from there on out undercover, meaning no one knows he's back or anything.
Nomad, baby, nomad.
And they grow.
Basically,
Peggy grew old together right before Cap comes out of the water. So when he comes out of water, she's old, like on deathbed and everything. The old Cap ends up hiding because he knows he's not going to disrupt time, because if he does and meets himself, you cause a paradox. So he knows that and he stays away from it. So this Cap who comes out of the ice continues his life as Captain America, forms the Avenger. He meets up with Peggy. She dies. Now remember,
Peggy.
If you remember Civil War, Peggy. Yes, if you remember Civil War, he wasn't by her when she died. Old Cap could have been. So when she dies, he can't be at the funeral because he knows he's one of the pallbearers, because he knows he lived it. So basically, he has to stay in shadows because he can't disrupt paradox. And then Cap does the Civil War. The funeral. He goes to fight Iron Man. He stays on the side. He knows what's going to happen.
But there's still 2 Caps.
There's still 2 Caps, but they're not interacting.
No. I didn't say they were interacting.
But technically speaking, old Cap who went back in time, cannot do anything, because if he disrupts the timeline at any point, it creates a paradox.
No. He's not going to do anything. But I'm just saying, him being Captain America, he's not just going to sit back and let all the. He could be Nomad.
But think about this for a second. So now he's Nomad, and
but he's not going to pop up in the Avengers.
But he's an older.
But he's just going to do his own thing to the side, still fight crime, but not.
I'm gonna give you the butterfly effect for a second. So
I like butterflies.
I do too.
That was a great movie.
That was wholesome.
Cushion.
So think about it like this, right? So now this Cap who went through all of Infinity War and Endgame, he goes back in time. Now it is 1949, let's just say, right? Let's say he's sitting around, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go fight. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go fight crime.
Yeah, I could go.
Right. Now he's fighting crime in 1950s and 1960s. Even if
he's getting older too.
That's not my problem with it. Think about this now. Let's just say he attacks somebody in the Soviet Union. Injures them horribly, stops them from doing something, maybe even accidentally kills somebody.
He could disrupt time by being involved in it.
If that ancestor interacts with any of the Avengers for any reason, you've created a paradox.
Gotcha.
But now,
I got you.
So the only way this could work, in the theory, to get a Nomad, right, is if by some precipice that the TVA knows that this is happening, they don't take old Cap because he didn't cause a time paradox. But who's to say it doesn't cause a string of alternate universes? So maybe there is a universe where Cap is Nomad and nothing happens. There's another one where something does happen. Now that world infinitely crushes on itself because it becomes an incursion with another.
So just real quick, and we could get off of it. So Human Torch in Deadpool and Wolverine. Why was he there?
He was scrapped from the.
He was scrapped from the Fox universe.
That's why he was there.
That's why he was
So
stuck
their
in that
world doesn't
universe.
exist anymore.
So that Ant-Man, there's other theories out. They're saying that Ant-Man wasn't at. Remember at the end when all Endgame,
Yeah.
when Wong and everybody, all the theories,
They
were
came out to
killing
fight?
everybody, and everybody,
Yeah.
Howard the Duck came out. I was like, dude, what the fuck Howard the Duck's gonna do against
Right.
Thanos? But anyway, all those characters, they pulled everybody out the world, out the woodworks. They all came out.
But they came back from the snap. Yes.
But
Uh-huh.
they said that Ant-Man was not supposed to be there. For some reason, if there's this thing that's going around on if you ever get a chance,
Ant-Man wasn't part of the snap, and if you remember correctly, when that scene happened, he was in the when the building blew up.
microverse or whatever.
No, when the building
He was in the van.
He was in the van. He was safe from the snap.
So he wasn't supposed to be there as Ant-Man.
Oh wait, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Think about
If
this.
he's in the van, how the hell is he giant Ant-Man when everybody comes out to fight Thanos? That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, you're talking about the end of Endgame?
Yeah. So hear me
Not
out.
the end of Endgame.
No,
That's
no.
not what he's saying.
No. So hear me out. TVA sees that. They zap his ass and they put him into that thing where all the scraps are.
Right.
That's why you see a dead Ant-Man. Remember? The helmet goes up and everything.
Yeah, but that giant Ant-Man was from
Where?
the Fox universe that
No, it
we've never
wasn't.
seen.
No, but
No.
Yeah, because if you remember from Deadpool Wolverine, they said everybody who was dumped into that world.
We're
and,
not-
It didn't come from Fox.
No, not just Fox. They said from other multiversal universes where they were destroyed. Remember?
Yes.
If you remember Loki, the
Yeah.
branches that were
I
getting
remember. I
Yep,
remember.
These were all rejects from what
So they
they were
threw
dumped
all in there.
Apparently, that giant man or Ant-Man, whoever he was dumped in there, was killed by
That chick.
that
Bald head chick.
by
Xavier's sister,
yeah.
Yeah.
and basically used his head, the whole thing as a
Yeah, yeah.
headquarters. So that's separate from the Ant-Man that was in Endgames.
It could
That Ant-Man from Endgame, our universe Ant-Man. That was another
Wait,
alternate universe that was just completely wiped out and destroyed.
So hold on for just a hot second though, because I understand what you both are saying,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
you guys are missing each other just a tad.
Of course.
I think Tommy has a point that so when the snap happens,
Yep.
it is an equation based on every living organism in the universe. So half of life of everything needs to disappear.
Yep.
Right? It's gone.
Right.
Ant-Man becomes an anomaly because he is of our universe, but when he's in the van, he shrunk to the microverse.
He was already in the microverse as an experiment.
Correct. But he wasn't from the microverse, therefore he becomes an anomaly.
Yeah.
Then
So hold.
Hear me-
That
hear me.
splits
I-
into multiple alternate universes.
Branches.
And like you said, the TVA's little scrapyard is all the multiverses that either incurred on themselves or get deleted.
Mhm.
I disagree. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Before he went to that microverse, after they had the Ant-Man versus Wasp, in case you wonder
Yep.
what we're talking about, he was still part of our universe, correct? Right?
Okay.
Let's all agree. So he's from of our universe.
He is from ours.
At
Yes.
the moment of the snap, whether he went into the microverse
Mhm.
or whether he was there, half the universe was instantly wiped out, right? The other half stayed. Now we could sit here and debate why this person disappeared, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Gotcha.
We could also debate why these other people who survived it didn't get wiped. I believe this is wipe your argument here.
Your theory.
Ant-Man, before he even went into the verse or while he was in the verse, because remember, even the microverse was affected by being half wiped out.
It was
Yeah.
not. There's no proof of that.
No.
Because the microverse is part of the universe.
No, it's
just
not.
a very small section of it. Technically, bacteria
Alright, question for
is
you.
part of that universe.
You're saying that who was taken from the microverse?
Yeah, we don't know if any.
We don't know because we don't know what was living in the microverse. We just knew when he went in there, he got stuck and he's floating
But
around
see,
by
Ken-
himself.
but
Conqueror,
listen
you
to
can-
what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're clashing because listen, the microverse,
Mhm.
It's not-
Thanos has no care for that. There's
No, he
nothing.
doesn't.
No, I'm saying,
Right.
but why would he even attempt to remove anything from that? That
Because
doesn't make
as
any
he
sense.
snapped
You know what
I
I'm
have
saying,
I have a
right?
different argument for what you're
Because
saying, but
You know
yes,
what I'm
the
saying?
idea-
It's this small. Why would he even
Because
care?
the
Also,
idea is
it's not that it's small.
Yeah.
It's an alternate universe.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
think about that for a second. So it's not like yes, technically speaking,
It's overpopulated.
Imagine.
wait. Microverse is not an alternate universe.
So
it's our universe,
No.
a smaller version.
well, so
No, it
but
isn't.
then that makes his argument.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
argument is saying that snaps throughout the entire universe, half
And
of life is
everything-
disappearing.
Right. It
everything.
doesn't affect the,
micro-
multiverse.
But
No.
if we watch Quantumania again,
Yeah.
the Ant-Man movie,
Mhm.
they explain that the microverse is
Yeah.
outside of the realm of the multiverse.
Okay.
So by that logic, even though it exists on our plane, it's too small for us to have an understanding of, and it exists in its own little plane.
Like, how do you know we're going there to erase?
So
you know what I mean?
So what you're telling me is because he was in the microverse,
Mm-hmm.
he was safe from the snap, and then when he comes back, he's the anomaly.
Yeah. So think about this now. So the snap is an equal 50. Let's say it in numbers, because you're a big number guy.
We'll say
50% of the population is gone throughout all of our universe of the 616. Right now, Ant-Man comes back into it. Now the anomaly is, or the percentage is 50% 0.00000001.
Okay.
Out of balance. So now that creates the paradox. What if there's a world where he never came out of the van?
Stayed in there. Yep.
Right. So now
it's playing with chance.
Yeah.
Right. It is. Now the sacred timeline, as they described it in the TSA, that one has certain rules and regulations. So Ant-Man comes out, okay, all right, this is the universe where they beat Thanos. It has to happen. If there's any other universes where he comes out of that van and it has an effect where Thanos wins, you are an anomaly because you are not part of the 50%.
Before you continue, I have one question.
But we wouldn't know. But in my defense on that, even if he didn't go in the microverse, we still do not know if Ant-Man would have blinked out with the people who were blinked out.
See, that's the only flaw in this. In this,
I have this one question. Move on.
Go for it.
I know we spent a little.
I know too much time on it.
It's great.
I thought it was really good. Makes a great pot. One question for you. Remember how Thanos said, "Listen, I need to remove half the people, whatever, because whatever." Why couldn't he snap and give more resources?
He's a dick.
As opposed to white impact.
I saw that as a meme, and that's a very quick. Why didn't he just
what do you
think
think about that?
He would have been a savior, gave us all more
food,
survive.
Anything. Resources.
That's why they call him a mad titan.
I understand. I
actually think that there could be an argument made for Thanos in this.
Yeah. So, I understand his point.
What is the 7 deadly sins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the one about greed and gluttony? Overeating, over holding of worldly possessions.
Okay.
So how is Thanos going to be a hero if he just keeps doubling the resources? At first, it's, oh my God, he saved us. Look, now we have infinite food and resources and stuff. And then eventually humanity gets greedy and it keeps going and going, and you have more shit than I do. So we're going to blow you up and take our stuff. And Thanos is going to keep making us more and more and more and more.
But if you
was all based on assumptions that we would react to,
and also,
when have we ever not?
Also, think of this, ready?
Go for it.
Thanos snaps, half the people are gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen in about 5 years after? He's going to repopulate.
He's going to have to find.
He's going to go. He's going to snap again.
Yeah. Well, he destroyed it, so I guess he got stupid.
Yeah, he didn't think long term on.
He didn't think long term. He just think do it once. He's a savior, but he really wasn't.
Yeah,
and he just didn't care who he hurt it, including killing Gamora.
Unless his crazy plan, he knew that by snapping them in half and kind of saying, all right, you guys are responsible now. If you overpopulate yourselves again, I won't live to see the next generation. Good luck.
Yep.
So yeah, okay, you prolonged the inevitable. Mm-hmm. But what if, go back to the Mad Titan theory, he knew that the society would never reform to that size because the infrastructure would be impossible to rebuild. Because look at New York when they're in the 5-year blip, right? Half the lights are still off. Society is barely surviving in New York.
The stadium looked pretty bad.
But then when he brought him back, that was, 5 years?
Yeah,
5 years later.
Don't you think it quadrupled? Not quadrupled. It doubled it?
It
probably didn't double, but it probably
bigger percentage.
Definitely a bigger percentage.
Bigger percentage than what it initially was.
And it will take time for everything to get back to normal.
I think the argument would have been better made if, let's just say, somehow the snap eliminated everybody over the age of, let's say, 40, right?
Gotcha.
Then there's younger people to repopulate. I can see that for sure.
I'm just going to defend Thanos with one thing. This is the only thing we'll defend him. Maybe he should did.
All right.
The man, they call him the Mad Titan. I'll explain. This is what I think happened to him. He had a legit gripe with what was wrong with the world. the resources and all stuff. And he just sat there and thought about it trying to find solutions. And he probably calculated to the point that none of his solutions would ever come out until he thought about the Infinity Gems, until he found he could do a snap. And he thought about what would he erase, and he said half the universe because he didn't want to kill everybody. But if you think about it, for him to think that idea and finding a solution and to not find a solution up to the point that he ended up thinking that far would have driven anybody mad, including Thanos. So
yeah,
as soon as he came up with this is the best idea I could think of, we're just going to do that and not think, like you said, farther than that. I mean, that's what made him more crazy.
Well, what he could have done was created the world in his own image. You understand? He could have created life. He could, he could create castles however he wanted. He could have created everything in his image, but he did.
There's only one person who got away with doing that. Scarlet Witch in comics, by the way.
Hex.
House of M.
Yeah, well, the series was it Scarlet Witch and
WandaVision. Yes. Yes. So it could be done. But again, if you saw that show, you know what's wrong with that and why you'll never get away with that. I think there's just no solution to what Thanos was trying to figure out. I don't think he accepted that. And that's what drove him mad.
I see what you're saying. I actually really like that theory a lot more. I also, as bad as it sounds, I love the classic 90s villain aspect is I'm going to erase half of humanity just because I want to impress.
Yes, so Jim Starlin.
To Jim Starlin, Iron Man, 1955, first appearance.
If you read that book, that's how Thanos should have reacted.
First appearance.
That was my favorite version of Thanos, and I think,
I can go back even farther, back in the 70s. Marvel Team Up. Marvel Team Up number 2.
The Avengers.
The Avengers annual number, I want to say 4. Mm-hmm. These are all giant-sized annuals. Written and drawn by Jim Starlin. It all dealt with the Cosmic Cube. Mad Titan Thanos was going around.
Yes.
Defeated the Avengers. Spider-Man showed up.
I know. It was a team.
Thing showed up, and they went at it. And it was really cool because back then they had Adam Warlock, which was the main character.
He died during that storyline.
Yeah. Thanos
put him in the Soul World.
Killed him, put him in the Soul Gem, and then he was in there with Gamora and Pip the Troll. We'll get into all that.
That was my favorite parts when he turned him to stone. That was it.
Warlock
we'll do an episode on that.
Yeah, Warlock saw what was going on, and he came out and he froze him. It was great, and he was frozen for many years.
Yeah,
exactly.
Until they did it again. We'll do a cosmic.
Yeah, we definitely will. I want to do
after hours.
After hours.
Yeah.
I want to do an episode on Infinity Gauntlet. Honestly speaking,
definitely, bro. Definitely.
We'll definitely touch that.
You guys in the comments watching on the YouTube later, let us know any ideas that you guys want to see in After Hours, which is only accessible on our Patreon show. Make sure you sign up at our Patreon, patreon.com/Comic Convo Express. We talk about I swear to God.
You're killing me.
You're killing me, Smalls.
The Patreon has all of our extended shows. We post all our edited videos a week before YouTube. We have the After Hours. This is true. You get an extra hour of content every month. And the cheapest to sign up is $3.99.
$3.99. That's enough to buy a comic book.
You could get a Happy Meal with that.
Happy Meal now, yeah.
True. So you get the extra hour of show, all of our extra content. The edited version of the show gets posted a week earlier there, so you get to see all the add-ons and visuals that we add to the show. And it goes straight back into the pod. We want to support you guys. We want to keep entertaining.
Thank you.
So let's go with our last 2 bit of information. So this came from Nintendo Direct. I think both of you being old school 80s fans love this.
Sorry about that.
Ready?
Go for it. Oh. Let me see this announcement. Oh, it's a trailer. Good.
What?
Marvel.
Hey, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man versus Spider-Man. Oh no.
So this was announced today, by the way.
First time I'm saying Captain America.
Look at the style.
What's wrong?
Oh,
that's throwback.
Spider-Man. Venom. Oh. What is this? Marvel vs. Capcom?
No. I thought it was at first, but no.
Oh, I love the artwork.
Capcom presents.
AIM?
Why not? Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's Lady Quasar.
Oh, no. Let's go.
What the?
Cosmic, baby. Cosmic. Oh, look at that. Old school, baby.
An arcade style beat 'em up for modern.
Hey, that looks like X-Men.
Oh my God! It does look like the original. Remember the Avengers game?
Avengers. Avengers. Captain America needs your
Wait
help.
till you see who the main villain is.
Gotta be Magneto.
It is not.
But the artwork looks like Marvel superheroes.
I know.
Apocalypse.
They did this on purpose.
That's dope. When does this drop? Soon?
Cosmic Invasion.
Oh, is that Annihilus?
And that's going to be on Nintendo
It's
Switch?
Annihilus.
This will be releasing on the Nintendo Switch, the PS4 and 5, and the Xbox Series.
Oh, I'm
console.
getting this. I'm getting this, guys.
We gotta play it. We'll have a night where we play it.
We gotta play it.
Game night.
I actually low-key would be happy if you guys wanted
Yeah,
to
we'll come to your
stream
crib.
it.
Yeah.
We'll
go to your crib.
for that.
We'll do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Marvel Capcom, Marvel superheroes.
Yeah.
And
But it's
they're
under
going
Marvel
into
Studios.
old school Marvel Avengers, if you remember.
Yeah.
Where Captain America and the
sick.
Avengers.
Intro sick.
That was sick. And then, oh my God, they're fighting. Oh my God.
So yeah, that is a modern 16-bit adaptation game, beat 'em up. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time.
And when is that being released?
Later this year, actually. So we're close. We're close to a release date. All right, guys. We have one last little thing to talk about. You guys were huge into it last time we did this show. So let's get into it now that the first issue has been released. Pedro, you want to read this? This comes from Scream Rant.
Oh, yes. Batman Hush 2 begins with a character death so big, I can't believe it. Seriously, I won't.
So we won't spoil that, but yes,
I
the
won't.
first issue of
You
Batman
believe it?
Hush 2
I don't
is
believe
out.
it.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe
Have
Seriously.
either of you guys read the first issue or not yet?
I picked it up, breezed through a couple of the pages, and it looks amazing.
What's that?
It looks amazing. I went to the comic shop, my local LCS guy. Support your local LCS.
Local comic shops, support it.
Support
Get
them.
yourself a copy of these books to order your comic free.
Upcoming books. Yep.
Dude, you're looking for something? Get it from the local comic shop.
Because your
Support 'em.
shop is very reliable in getting you books. I'm not gonna say anymore.
Very liable. They are. They'll get it when you need it.
Check them out. Get it. Art is breathtaking. Of course,
Jim
Jim
Lee.
hands down my all-time favorite. And like I said, I skimmed through it. I saw a couple of reviews on it and stuff. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but get yourself a copy when I went to my local LCS.
Yes.
I can tell you, man, the whole shelf was just, oh gosh.
No.
Variants like there's no tomorrow.
They had to fight a kid to put it.
He's
But,
so let me see that.
because it was selling out quick in your local comic shop. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
try to get it.
It went quick.
They managed to put it in my file, so I'll be able to pick it up hopefully today. Pat, you go to
Picked
this
up a
comic
couple
store?
variants.
Don't give away my location.
Was it?
You gotta get
Wait, the honey hole, man.
you gotta get it for me.
What are you doing?
But,
I'm gonna get pop smoked.
but it's awesome to see
Yeah,
Jeff
man.
Loeb come back to Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm in DC. excuse me. Comics in general.
Hey, man, Kevin Smith, we're screwed. This is screwed, man.
No, Jeff Loeb doing DC, Batman reuniting with Jim Lee. I love the idea. I can't wait to pick it up and read it. It's going to be, I don't know, 12 issue limited series? Or
12 issue, yep.
under Batman
It's
series?
going to be sick.
It's going to get, I
Can't wait.
So,
I was really stoked when I saw it.
big
And when I
time.
went online to see the pre-orders, oh, man, I'm really, really excited.
So many variants.
I know,
Oh,
it's coming back.
Variants for days.
You got Kevin Smith today. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Jeff Loeb the last week. Who else is going to come back?
Lee.
Let me and Jim Lee actually he's back.
Mhm.
Well, he's been back.
I'm about to say he's been running DC.
Joe Quesada, also another artist, came back.
He didn't really go anywhere too far.
Like, who else we need to come back?
Who else you want to see come
What's
back?
his name on Surfer? We need
Who
to
you
more Surfer. Ron Lim.
You want Ron? Oh yes, Ron Lim. Let's back.
Go ahead.
Ron Lim.
I'm
come
gonna
back.
pay Ron Lim if you're hearing this.
Miniseries.
Huge fan.
Limited series.
Come back to Marvel. Come back doing. We need you back on Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that's hands down the greatest. To my opinion, is the greatest Silver Surfer
If
art.
not, get on Captain America. You drew Captain America very well as that.
Yes, he actually was drawing both titles. Remember?
Yep. I don't know what what he's doing, but
Yeah,
it's time to come back.
man.
I'm
Come back
praying for you
home.
now. Ron
Come back
Lim.
home.
Anybody who don't know his artwork, check him out. He got some skills.
Come back home. We got pizza. Come
Check
home.
my tattoo if you don't believe it.
We got pizza.
We got
Oh my god,
pizza.
that was great. That was great.
We got pizza.
All right, gentlemen, do we have anything else that we want to talk about before we
Big
leave?
drop on Lobo, maybe.
Oh
Yeah, bring it up. Yeah, talk about it.
Jason Momoa. Oh, this was Dad Talks since 2022. Dad Talks with Mr. Gunn.
Mhm.
And dude, I cannot wait because Gunn with his Guardians of the Galaxy nailed it.
Nailed it.
And
now
who
he's
else
running-
to do better than space than some Lobo? It's
And
a
now
fucking
he's
bounty
running-
hunter.
And right now, Gunn is now running the whole DC universe, the not animated, the regular movie universe.
Yep.
And it was so
Supergirl, right? Something.
yeah, he's
Supergirl
doing
coming up.
Supergirl. He's doing the new Superman movie. We saw the trailer for that.
Yeah.
And for Supergirl, which we'll be seeing that when it comes out in the trailer, but they fired. It's interesting. They fired Jason Momoa's Aquaman, but they hired him to do Lobo.
Why not?
So his first appearance as Lobo will be in the Supergirl movie, which
Upcoming, yeah.
when we get
We
the trailer,
also-
we'll promote it here
Yeah.
as well.
We also have Batman, Brave and the Bold's going to be under him.
Even the Bold,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
And he's going to turn it around for DC movies, so give Marvel some competition. So we'll see.
They're also thinking about Cavill, Henry Cavill, to play the Brave and Bold version of Batman. That's what I heard.
Choice.
That's an
Rumors.
interesting rumor, considering
I
they
heard rumors.
they dropped him as Superman. Why would you want to go back? Stay in Marvel. It could be Wolverine.
It's all about this.
It's
It's all about the Benjamins.
who could do it better.
But yeah, Lobo, I would love to see him on the big screen. Oh man, I would love to see
He
him on
got
the
the
big
look
screen.
for it. He got the look for it.
I would love to see Lobo on the big screen.
Not as
Cosmic,
Aquaman. I didn't
oh,
like him as
Cosmic.
Aquaman.
And he can't die.
He's
Heaven
better.
don't want him, and hell don't want him either. Because when he went to heaven, he was killing all the angels.
Can't wait to see him on the
He went,
motorcycle.
dude, he went to hell. He was killing all demons. They're like, listen, you live for eternity. We're not going to take neither of you.
Who's gonna play Supergirl? Do we know? No.
I'm not sure.
Well, I guess we're still waiting to hear that.
Either way, we're coming up on our end. Is there anything else you guys want to talk before we go?
Anything off the top
Let's
of your
see,
head?
on top of my head, Comic Convo Express is on Twitch TV.
Yeah.
Comic Convo Express.
All right. Well, I was about to do all that.
Yeah.
Have it up
That's-
for a reason.
that's good.
All right.
Shut up,
Fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me pull up Twitch real quick. Guys, make sure you check us out, twitch.tv/Comic Convo Express. This is a viewer-supported podcast. We always love having you guys here. We love hearing from you guys. During the pods, we ask that any questions you have, you'll do it through the TTS. TTS starts at $69 and up. You can get that in at streamlabs.com/Comic Convo Express. $30 and up to show the to have your question read, and $10 and up to have it shown on screen. That's money that goes right to us. Streamlabs only takes 3%. So it's a good way to support the pod. Another good way to support the pod is to check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Comic Convo Express. All of our free episodes go on up there. And if you guys want to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Comic Convo Express, there is about, I actually looked this morning, so I wasn't going to have egg on my face. We have roughly about 10 to 11 extra hours of content on. So even then, we're going to be adding more shit to it.
Pause.
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 Rose.
It's getting bigger. Pause.
Oh my god. And this has been Between the Panels. We love you guys so much. We're gonna go raid somebody watching on the live for Twitch. But for YouTube crew, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Guys, thank you for following.
This is a
Like-
production.
Like, follow, and subscribe. God bless.